Hey guys, it's me. Um, so I want to set the record straight and about me leaving Kansas to go to Colorado and the heartache that ensued for my innocent child. And man, my eyes look so sad. And for the heartache I caused his dad and the heartache I caused myself. So I was a single mom. Um, when his dad and I broke up. Um, and, you know, my vision of my vision of me and his dad being together and, you know, having a happy family and all that stuff went out the window. And it was hard for me to get over it, because, um, I mean, his dad didn't know or didn't care really that um, how much pain I was in when he left me. Um, but it killed me inside. So I started drinking a lot more than I was, and I gained I gained a lot of weight while doing it, and um, hang on, I got to be about 300 pounds, and at that time I gained more later on, but I got to be about 300 pounds drinking alcohol. So it was really sad. I was to the point where, like, I was, if someone would have stuck me with a needle, I would have popped. Like, the liquid in my skin was so, it's horrible. Like, I have scars reminding me every day of how fat I used to be. Those are stretch marks on my arm, top and bottom. And that skin just hangs there. I mean, you can see where my arm stops and, you know, where it's supposed to be. And then the rest is just skin. But and it's embarrassing. I wear sleeve shirts because it's embarrassing. It's really hard to lose that part of your weight. And anyways, so his dad and I. Okay, so his dad was significantly older than me. I was 23 and his dad was 35. When we got together, I was 22. Yeah, 22, and his dad was 33, 34. Well, he was 33 when we met, and he turned 34, and then obviously on my son's birthday, uh, they were exactly 35 years apart. It's crazy because my daughter is exactly 30 years apart from me. um, Coincidences in life, huh? Anyways, so I was a drunk. I became so involved in my drinking. I was, and I believed anything that my son's father told me. I was so young and dumb and naive, and I just wanted him to, you know, to get along with me, and I just wanted everyone to be happy, and that's all I've ever wanted. And, you know, um, so I believed anything that his dad told me, and his dad told me that if I signed parental rights, not parental rights, but um, what is it called? Like the main parent, the one that has where the kid calls home, and then the other parent is the one that like sees him every weekend or whatever. He wanted me to be the every weekend parent and him to be the home parent. And I believed him. He said, if you sign these papers, I won't go after you for child support. He's like, I know you're in college and I know that you're, a single mom and you're working full-time job. And he said, I know it's hard. He's like, me and my wife have two incomes, so there's no need to take your money from you. So, I believed him. And not even a month later, I was served with child support. And, that hurt really bad. And I did what I could, and I kept up on child support, but I worked alone and I lived alone. And then I had my son 2 days a week on my off days, which were like Wednesday and Thursdays. And I just was drunk all the time, and this one time my sisters tried to stop me from drinking and driving, and I almost ran my sister over because she was standing behind my vehicle. And, this was, 13 years ago. So it's not anything incriminating now. I've been sober for 6 years from alcohol, and I, will rejoice to the heavens and back because alcohol is the worst thing ever. But it's so bad that I almost ran my sister over, because if she wouldn't have jumped out of the way, because she was trying to stop me from driving home with alcohol in my system. And I'm not going to go into any further details about the horrific events that, unfolded when I was drinking, but they're along the lines of me forgetting that my son was in the car and me leaving my purse in the car with him, and the door of my car open, and me waking up on the floor of my apartment with my apartment door open and the keys in the keyhole, and me getting up, going to the kitchen, taking a shot of vodka, and then remembering, oh my God, my son's with me. Oh my God, it's Thursday, and running out to the car. And he was still there, buckled up, sleeping. My car was still open. My purse was still there. It turned out I was only passed out for 5 minutes, but it could have been a lot longer and things could have been a lot worse, And right then and there, I decided he deserved better. And I was going to end up being that mom. I was going to end up showing up to his school drunk, embarrassing him, I was going to end up getting pulled over and CPS getting involved in our lives, or um, killing him or myself, with drinking and driving. And one day I just had to do it, and just loaded up my car and said goodbye and left and went to Colorado. And I cried I remember that road trip. I will never forget that road trip. About 18 times I almost turned around and went back, but I didn't. And that's what structured the rest of my life until now, was the fact that I didn't turn around. Maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't have, but I'll never know. But I know if I would have stayed there, I would have been dead. When I got to Colorado, I went to the hospital and my heart was 100. It was 185 to 195, something like that, beats per minute. It was just pounding, 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 pounding. Anytime that I would get up to move, because my heart was overworked, and probably could have had a heart attack or a stroke. They put a stent into my arm. I don't know if you can see it anymore. But they put a stent into my arm, which is they follow the vein right here, and then it goes and it dumps into your heart. And they couldn't get Ativan into my body fast enough. The nurse couldn't because I needed the nurse. I wasn't calling the nurse. I was out of it. But the nurse needed to be in there every like 2 minutes. So they decided to put a stent in there and dump the Ativan into my heart. And I was in there for 10 days or 7 days, 7 days. I was in there for 7 days. And, coming off alcohol was really hard. And I had broken one of their computers because they had me strapped down because I was having seizures and being just crazy. And I thought when they were putting a catheter in me, I thought they were trying to steal my uterus. And so I kicked the nurse and I bit the nurse and I broke the straps on the bed and broke the bed and broke the computer, and then I got shot with something and I was out. But then they upped my Ativan and stuff. But anyways, and so after that I got sober for a while. I was still out of it. I was still on the Ativan, and the Ativan was coming out of my system, and I was walking on the treadmill every day for about an hour, and then sitting in the steam room every day for about 15-20 minutes, with like long sleeves and stuff on, trying to sweat out the Ativan and sweat out the alcohol from 20 or 15 years of being an alcoholic, raging alcoholic. And I was pretty naive when I met my son's father. I didn't realize that there were people out there that really wanted nothing more out of life than to hurt other people and to embarrass other people and to shame other people. And I didn't know that. I was naive. I didn't realize what was happening to me, I didn't realize what was going on with everyone around me. And I'm not saying I'm innocent whatsoever, but I was a naive young girl by myself, doing the best I could. I had a full-time job. I had my own apartment, my own car. I graduated college. I was trying to do the best I could do. I was paying my child support every week. I was doing everything I could do. But I was still being attacked by, his father, his father's wife, and his father's mother. His being my son's father, my son's father's wife, and my son's father's mother. If it wasn't one, it was the other. They were tag teaming me, just telling me how worthless I was and making fun of me for being fat and being a drunk, and telling me I was worthless and I was nasty and sloppy, and just that I was gonna amount to nothing, and they were gonna take my son from me, and I should be lucky that I have him while I have him, and just all these horrible things that they would say to me. And anyways, so while I was recovering in Colorado, I get served with papers from my son's father saying that that my parental rights were on pause, and the only way I can get them unpaused would be to prove that I was sober for 5 years, and would be that I would have to move back to Kansas. And I fell apart, again, and because I couldn't afford to go be at that court date that his father had set, because I was detoxing and I was, trying to get sober and trying to save my life, um, in order to be a better mom. And he did that to me, and he did that last time I was in rehab too. Good thing though that I was able to have my mother and my grandmother go to court for me and tell them that I was in rehab and postpone it till I got out. And his dad was pissed because he wanted to hit me while I was down. This time he got to hit me while I was down and I couldn't get back up. I didn't have the money to fly to Wichita or get to Wichita at all. And my mom wasn't working at the time. So people say, well, why didn't your mom fly you out there? No, it's not her responsibility. She's my mom. She's not my son's mom, and it's not her responsibility to do that. And I couldn't make it out there. I couldn't afford an attorney to talk for me. So everything his dad wanted was granted, which I think is bogus as hell, man. Like, nowadays they have, you know, Zoom calls and video conference court. Back then, they didn't have this. They didn't have those type of things back then. So everything his father wanted, he got. And I was heartbroken, and I turned back to drinking alcohol. And I was so ashamed of myself to turn back to alcohol. And um, I turned worse than I thought I did. I went back to drinking a lot, and so we're gonna stop the story there, and I'll tell the rest in the next video. But so right now we're at about the year is 2012. 2012, yeah, because I just gotten served with those papers and I was devastated and I started drinking. And I'll start from there on the next video. Thank you.